Hello, welcome to the video. Today we're going to go through the new AQ Infinity AQ2D update that Artix has written down here. It's very long, so get buckled in, throw us up on the side monitor, play another game while you're listening to it or whatever, because we have a lot to go over, a lot to cover for AQ. There's a whole lot, like a whole novel was written about AQ Infinity. Let's go through it all. Hit the like button or I'll have Artix delete all your character page badges. Alright, let's read through this. Today I'm with Reens JX, who is J6. I think he changed the 6 to an X, I'm not sure why. And Ghost on remastering the dungeon known as Bludrut Keep. The dungeon is cursed by evil spirits. The monster-filled keep descends several floors underground. In the shadows of the keep's very bottom, there's a creature known only as the Gorglok. Brave or not too bright adventurers go to obtain the fabled Bludrut Blade. We found some irony that our previous games all mentioned the Bludrut Blade, but the weapon itself was nowhere to be found. It would appear that even our most expert players mistook the sword wielding by the Gorglok to be the fabled blade, but it was not. The Bludrut Blade remains hidden at the bottom of Bludrut Keep, waiting for worthy hands to free and wield it. In Adventure Quest Worlds Infinity, or at least it will be once we finish remaking the dungeon. Okay, so they're kind of teasing content for AQ Infinity that isn't out yet, and they're still making in this dev blog. Okay, that's good, I guess. Switching to building map content was a sudden departure from the intense feature work the team has been doing for the past few weeks. But we have at least 2 members of the team out with COVID. Jeez. And we're also in a holding pattern waiting for some big code and feature changes. So the rest of us have started a major content push. Ooh, what do we think? What are we thinking? So they're already updating UI elements. So you have original AQ Worlds, and then an updated AQ Infinity. Look at that. It's got a little bit more, some more shadows and some more defining lines on there for the items. It's okay. It's a different style. Gear icon I like. Shield looks completely different. Anyway, we don't need, yeah, it's the visual stuff. Okay, next paragraph. It's been a few weeks since our last tech demo with the new combat system. Alina asked me if it was possible to take all the feedback from the players and do a whiplash update, impressing players with how fast we could implement the changes and do a follow-up tech demo. With an enthusiastic yes on it, I got to work with the team and ended up rewriting combat, gutting the cutscene system, and committing at least 2 feature creep felonies. Stuck in a holding pattern. Worse yet, I kept waiting for some super good news, like the announcement of tech demo number 5, but making a post to update players. Gulps. I'm not gulping. I have not written an update post for weeks, so I definitely need to write to them today and let them know everything that has been going on, especially the news about combat and the working Android version. Okay. Android version up and running. So maybe the next playtest will have that as an option of the Windows and Android versions. That'd be cool to test out, to be honest. I definitely want to see what that's going to be like. And then we're going to look at some animation, keyframes and stuff there. All right, next one. Spider and Immortal Joe have been eyeball deep in combat stats. Based on feedback from the last tech demo, we're rebuilding the core 4 classes: Warrior, Rage, Rogue and Mage mixed together, Healer, much more similar to how they are in the existing game, but with some improvements. Combat is going to be faster and effect animations will be a little more flashy. Nullgap animated a bunch of new attack and slash animations. Many of your major skills will no longer miss. If you have played the last tech demo, you'll be relieved to know that the movement-based skills will leave you facing your target. The movement-based skills will leave you facing your target. Okay. I don't know if that's I mean, sometimes you don't want. Okay, anyway, but in addition to these remastered versions of the existing classes, we will also be making new Infinity classes. These new Infinity versions of the classes will use a lot of features that are only available in Infinity, like hitbox-based combat and positional skills. Instead of mana, Infinity classes can now have their own resources: Fury, Chi, Spirit Energy, Darkness, Bacon. Okay. Bacon, right. So this is very much a work in progress, and I want to be transparent that we are still experimenting with ways to make this game's combat even more fun than the original. yeah, so I really liked the last combat update with like the Garen spinning your sword around and moving the map and having actual hitboxes, and it felt more, very much more like an actual video game. Uh, like when I say actual video game, like of course AQ Worlds is a video game, but felt more a game like you're actually interacting and playing the game more. I don't know, I'm bad at explaining this, but all right, Spider created a system called Skill Forge, which is used for creating classes. It's far more powerful than what we had to work with in the original version of the game, to say the least. Last week, the team focused on the timing, sound effects, and feel of combat. There were a lot of brilliant things in the existing AQ worlds that we took for granted. For example, look at the way your weapon turns white for one frame the moment of impact, and how the monster also turns white. That doesn't happen if you turn off the things, and it's good that doesn't happen. It creates this brilliant illusion that everything is contacting beautifully. There's an option that lets you turn that off. Nevertheless, little details like that define the style of AQ worlds. They are not bringing that back. So that is the effect that basically blinds you every time you hit the enemy, turning them completely white. Why? No, don't bring that back. Maybe a hit effect, like the blade contacts, and then at the point of contact, you see a little like diversion or something like a but not the whole monster flashing white. That they cannot go back to that. Please God. Okay. While testing the two games, and then you can tell this is an AQ Worlds screenshot, not AQ Infinity. You can tell because the low background quality. It's AQ Worlds because yeah, you can tell that the characters don't look terrible, but Artix is playing with the settings turned to low on the screenshot. Or this is, yeah, no, this is probably Artix's screenshot. Definitely an AQ Worlds screenshot just with the background quality turned to low, maybe to make it look like AQ Infinity. Those characters definitely AQ Worlds though. While testing the two games, I was often sit in both games comparing the screens, and inevitably go AFK. Players would find me and hang out, which is really nice. Damage styles for AQ Infinity, so text. Out of all of these, the white one's probably my favorite, or maybe the orange. I like the white. I think, yeah. Having different, it'd be cool to have different color damage, like based on your class. Like, let's say you have a earth-based class is doing green damage. You have an ice-based class, and you see the blue numbers appear. That would be kind of cool. Damage number pop-ups seemed like a good place we could innovate. In the existing game, the damage numbers are just white text, drawing inspiration from games like Diablo and Maple Story. We made a super customizable damage pop-up which features color gradients, the ability to be hit at an angle, which sort of makes it look like it's knocking your opponent's teeth out. The text and different text bounce effects. Yeah, okay. You get a little look at Artix's USB situation and his Steam Deck. Why do I mix this up? Little iPad speakers. All right, so I like seeing people's setups. You just get the monitor things instead of a monitor arm. All right. Next paragraph. Warlick has the cloud builder working. He published a dev version of Infinity on Android. It runs really smooth. We found a few weird isms, but it's expected and fixable. It's a major breakthrough for the game. We did have Apple and Android versions of the game working way back when we ran a booth for the game at PAX East Convention, but that was a much simpler version of the game, and frankly, it was held together with duct tape and super glue. This one will be heading to the app stores when it's ready. Okay. Picture above, the sort of weird bugs that pop up when we build stuff that has nothing to do with this. So a little inventory breaking, I guess, is what. 2 items, loot available. Oh, the loot is showing up in your inventory. Okay. That does seem like a weird bug. All right. On that note, we got the file size of the game down to 1.3 gigabytes to 180 megabytes. We still need to get it under 150 meg to not require Wi-Fi when downloading from the App Store. Okay, I didn't know about this. Do you guys ever install games on your phone not being connected to Wi-Fi? I only ever download them when connected to Wi-Fi. I would never, because you know when you open the game, you're gonna it's gonna open and start downloading like gigabytes of stuff anyway, right? Like no matter what game you're playing. So who does that? I don't know, but I guess that's something you would care about. Like getting the thing on the phone matters, I guess. All right, so we have been pinging Orlick to get help. So much that we just made this post in the chat. Bat signal. Okay, so we get an actual visual of something new here. A PvP trophy shop. And then it looks like you have a button to merge. A lot of ACs. You can see the requirements for the merge in this box here, which is definitely a different UI than what we currently have in AQ Worlds. You can see your items. Looks a little weird. Definitely work in progress. I think this could be a lot better. It's not really taking up all the screen. I don't know. It could be better for a merge shop, but they're doing something. Looks great and is intuitive. I still think that needs work, but okay. This is cool. I haven't read through this yet, so it's my first time reading it. Resources. With inventory space always being a concern, we've been talking about the possibility of adding a resource tab, which would be for crafting materials. We did this in AQ30. These crafting materials would not take up space in your inventory. Oh, thank goodness. Why not? Why? Hey, funny idea. Why not add this to AQ Worlds like yesterday? That'd be great. No promises yet, but it seems very feasible if we can just figure out where in the inventory to stick a tab for it. Might be worth widening the inventory window. Yeah, why is the inventory window take up like half an inch of space on the screen? Like this isn't the inventory, but the inventory is right here. It looks the same, right? Why? Inventory should be full screen. Preview always. When you scroll over an item, the preview should show up on the screen. Like it should be like an actual functional inventory. Why is it like a little sub menu, like something that would pop up like when you're looting a box in Fallout 4 or something? Why does it look like that? Why isn't the why can't we have a proper inventory where you actually see the items? Because in AQ Worlds right now, you gotta like click. Oh, I forget what what is this battle ready swimwear? Let me see what that looks like. Click. It's so bad. Make it better. Do it. It can be better, please. Okay. This is the best, the Z order breakthrough. So this is some real nerdy dev stuff, I imagine. The other week, we solved the biggest pain in the backside of our armor that have been plaguing the development. Hindsight being 2024, we should have figured this out earlier. When work on this started, Unity did not have a built-in feature to grip 2D objects in the same way Flash does, so Orlick coded his own solution. But as we kept making things more complicated, adding particles and mix and matching monsters, characters, and special effects, things started clipping weird. Anyway, there was a relatively easy solution built right into Unity, and we started using it. It fixes the biggest issues we have been having with maps, cutscenes, and particle systems. Now we are going back through everything and removing all the ultra weird trickery we used to use to get around the issue. To any Unity devs reading this who know the simple thing we started using, feel free to laugh when you find out we created 30 sorting layers and placed actors, monsters, and props in those layers and animated, the layers. They were placed on at runtime to have them properly Z-order in cutscenes. If I could only go back a year with the knowledge I have now, facepalm. Sounds like they need to hire like a single person that really knows Unity. Might have helped. Maybe. Alright, so. Alright, dialogue and cutscene editing system. On one hand, I feel terrible about the horrific amount of scope creep taking place in the cutscene system. What started as, how about we make our own version of Ren Ply, or however you say that, turned into, nope, how about we make our own version of Flash with Ren Ply bolted on top of it. Okay. Hashtag no regrets. It was the right call. So wait, they made their own version of Flash with that's the software that a bunch of what do you call them? visual novels used, right? Both on top of it. So they made that. No, wait, if you actually made this, people would want this. Like, you could sell that. If you actually made that Flash with, people would very much want that as a piece of software. But okay, it was the right call. What we are building is exactly what AQ Worlds Infinity needs to tell stories at the same level of emotion and quality as its namesake. Also, we need this in order to finally translate the games into multiple languages for our friends around the world. That's really cool. It's cool they're doing this. And it's just going to be AI translation, but it's very nice they're doing that so people can, pick the language they want to play the game in. It's not only English. It is practically working, but it is currently in a really messy state. How do we finish it and put it into production? First step is to clean up the broken bits. We already merged the dialogue and cutscene systems together. Ghost built a bunch of text cinematics that we can load inside of it. We need to perfect how it works, smooth out all the awkward stuff. My design philosophy is, if it is easy to use, it will be used. Yeah, that's actually very, very good, very smart. If it is hard to use, people will avoid it. Yes. This is especially true of tools. I could write for hours, but all the complicated issues that we need to solve inside the dialogue system is basically a custom visual novel engine built around a player's AQ Worlds character. That's really cool. If we can get the core stuff working and make it fun to use, then Infinity will have tons of killer cutscenes. Yeah, so this is very important for the actual game. I mean, it's not really too interesting to read about, but I'm sure if you really care about the game, you'll care about stuff like that. There's just some animations for elementals here, which is looking pretty good. I like that one in particular, which I think is a death animation. That's really, like, yeah, the fact that, yeah, very nice. Okay, building new content for AQ Infinity. That's a big one. Wait, you are still building this in Flash? AQ Infinity has a super weird design process. First, an artist builds a weapon in Flash, now called Adobe Animate. Then, the item is added to the existing AQ worlds and tested. Next, Warlock runs the Cloud Builder, which discovers all new items added to AQ worlds, and it attempts to auto-convert them into a format that Unity can read. Then the Cloud Builder takes a file and publishes it for PC, Mac, Android, and Apple. Then, if you want to add animations or particle effects to the item, you import it, and then you do the work inside Unity and republish. Pretty crazy, right? That's insane, actually. Why are you doing all that? Okay, to the players wondering, what will happen to AQ Worlds when Infinity launches? They can now breathe a big sigh of relief. We are designing AQ Worlds first, then converting to Infinity. What? This is true for maps, monsters, weapons, as well as everything. This makes a lot of sense for a gazillion reasons. I'm not seeing that. It is going to be a long time until Infinity catches up to the existing game. We will be remaking maps, classes, and monsters and sagas in Infinity starting at the beginning. It will be fun. Okay. Sort of like releases of WoW Classic or OSRS. Let's go over RuneScape. Infinity will release remastered maps way faster than they were released in the original game. We will not know exactly how much faster until... Okay, what I just read right here is actually batshit insane. But anyway, but you can see why tools like the dialogue system really matter. The better the tools, the better and faster we can remaster the stories. We have been championing the 80-20 rule. The game should be 80% the same and 20% better. The important thing is you will finally be able to log in to play Adventure Quest Worlds on your phone and tablet and have your stuff. It has been taking a crazy long time to build, but the tech demos have looked great and been extremely promising. Oh boy, this just seems like a recipe for disaster reading this. I very much hope that they pull it off like WoW Classic or OSRS has done. But wow, okay. Just read. So this seems like a very clear statement of what they're doing, like kind of an explanation we've been wanting. about like what's going to happen with AQ Worlds in relation to AQ Infinity, and oh boy. Okay. All right. That's something. We'll see how that plays out. But okay. Next paragraph. Tech demo number 5. Already 5, right? That's okay. On the topic of tech demos, we will be doing the next one as soon as combat is solid. The update plan for Tech Demo 5, including testing the base classes, an adventuring area, maybe Bludrut, the loot system, new character animations, the crafting and merge system, and we made a bunch of core changes. So we need to see what we can break. XD indeed. About design note and new posts. I've been sitting here writing this post at the used bookstore, smelling rows of bookshelves and vinyl LPs. It's one of my favorite places to visit for inspiration and delicious coffee. Also, it is right next to a video game store. The team and I work on AQ Worlds every single day. It's crazy how much effort goes into it daily. But how could anyone know? Back in the days of Dragonfable, MechQuest, and Adventure Quest 3D's development, I would start every day by writing a post. But writing full posts with a promo image daily has just not proven to be feasible for my current schedule, so I like to try something new. Instead of making individual posts, how about I make a new post at the start of the start of the week and update that post every day, sort of like how I updated the play-by-plays that we do during tech demos and launches. Then I can report to you near daily with crazy stories and updates instead of writing novel-length posts like this one. This has been long, yes. This would result in one post per week filled with daily updates. The search engines will probably think I'm spamming the same page over and over. Oh well, we can try and find out. In fact, we can start by trying it right here at the end of this post. Check back tomorrow for the latest. Battle on Artix. And then we got an update that happened from today, the day I'm reading this. So this came out yesterday, and this is from today. Okay, so we get a picture of what looks like the in-action animated version of Bludrut. It's pretty low quality, but you can see got kind of a neat animation on the skull there and a bit of mist fog, green fog stuff. Not too bad. I like to see how the fog seeps under the door in Bludrut Keep. Yeah, it's a pretty nice little effect. I'm in voice chat with Greens and Ghosts this morning working on Bludrut Keep's maps. There are 4 in total, 1 for each floor. They are themed after the elemental spirits which live in them. Of course, first you'll have to get inside. Wait, is this an actual look at the game? It is. It's looking pretty decent. Actually, this map art actually looks a lot better than we're used to. I zoomed in on it here. So the actual monsters and stuff are still lacking anti-aliasing, which is a big issue the game's had, but it's fixable, I guess. Like if you look at this character looks god awful, but that, well, it's not to do with the image quality. You can just tell that this one's lower quality than Artix's, for example. Reen's looks pretty bad too, but the actual background map looks way better than other maps. This looks like it's actual AQ Worlds art, not a screenshot of it. Like it looks like they actually took the base image, so that's nice. Hopefully the other maps look this good eventually. JX widened the first frame so it scrolls and there is more room for monsters. Once you find the key, you will use it to unlock the door. An opening animation will play along with a glorious creaking door sound. I imagine that's a stock sound that you've heard 1,000 times in other places, but we're good with that. We have also been choosing Bludrut's music. We will be using existing tracks, but would like to have 2 different tracks, alternate for each floor. Perhaps something different for the boss rooms. Also, we are asking Aranx if he can if you can glow up on the Spirit Slayer NPC. Go change the dummy character to make it easier to see how weapons animate. I see the coders down in the other chat with their screen shared, working on something furiously. Gulps, waiting until they break to see what they're building or fixing. Now it's time to review the new Bludrut Keep skip. Reen's merged the original story and the Guardian story together. The dungeon used to be split in half vertically, which meant free players could only go down the first 2 floors. This was a very old map built way back before we had better design for all players. This design will allow everyone to descend through the story and encounter the Gorglurk. Alright, so That's all they wrote for this. I was initially going to have this as part of the AQ news video as well, but I think after reading this and seeing how long this took to go through this whole thing, I didn't really expect it to take this long. I think this will be a standalone video now, so this is probably the end of the video you're watching. Check out the news video as well, where we go through some of the other art that was posted this week. I'll give my 2 cents on that. So check that out. That's probably also up on the channel today, probably shortly after this is uploaded. So check that out on the channel. Subscribe, hit the like button, all that stuff. And let me know what you guys think of this. Do you think they're batshit insane as well for continuing to work on AQ Worlds at the same time as Infinity? This paragraph is absolutely insane to me. Okay. Anyway, I'll see you next one. Check out this video today. Peace. Hello, welcome to the video. Today we're going to go through the new AQ Infinity AQ2D update that Artix has written down here. It's very long, so get buckled in, throw us up on the side monitor, play another game while you're listening to it or whatever, because we have a lot to go over, a lot to cover for AQ. There's a whole lot, like a whole novel was written about AQ Infinity. Let's go through it all. Hit the like button or I'll have Artix delete all your character page badges.